welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I am joined once again by one of Wise Take's finest DFS analysts, the true OG, Paulie D. You can find him on Twitter at Paulie with 8 D's. 8 of them bitches. Paulie, what's happening, man?
What's up, man? Another good night. Shout out to the Bled, one of our liveliest members in the Slack. Finally got himself a nice win. He won 700 on a 100 and change. Did well on the FanDuel. I told him a couple days ago a win was coming, and he made it happen. And King B turned around his losing streak.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
He got down to his last $2. He said, turned that into 10, and then quintupled that up. So now he's back in business.
There we go.
You know, we got a nice slate tomorrow. 7 games, perfect size, perfect number, perfect karma. Like, the nation's hot, man. And I mean, I know a lot of guys knew I had a little sweat going. I was in third till about 2 minutes and 30 seconds into that Lakers game, and then too many guys with LeBron ended up passing me. I made the mistake of going Russ over LeBron. I could have very easily 1v1'd them, and that cost me winning the whole thing. So still, though, you know, I guess I like 4.5x the money. Like, it's whatever. It's tough when you get that close, though, and had a real shot. Like, you know, if the game would have blown out and they just didn't close, like I would have, you know, like I was in third like most of that game. Once what's his name? Point guard Jamal Murray got me into third. Like, you know, I was there most of that game because he had a really hot start. Yeah. So it was like, you know, one of those sweats that like lasts forever and then kills you in the final 2 minutes. Yeah. Little.
You called it too, though. You did call it before the NFL show. You had said to Joe that I got a feeling this is gonna happen. And
yeah.
But hey, man, winning night's a winning night. The nation's been hot, like you said, man. I mean, I was telling you, I don't want to jinx it or nothing, but the cash games have been so easy so far this year. It's like, and like, I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just stating, like, you know, I'm with it. But like,
and that's like usually not uncommon for basketball. Yeah. It's usually so thin.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's like a beginning of the season thing, or if it's like, you know, I feel like last year we were so much more concerned about ownership, and like this year, like, we're aware, but like yesterday you put Dennis Smith Jr. into your cash game, right? Like, he had to be like 1%.
Yeah, he was not a common cash play. Yeah.
He was an optimal play, and like, you know, like, I think by putting the right plays in over just following the herd is going to kind of set you apart in cash games.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just like trying your best to identify the good chalk from the bad chalk. Just you know, playing what makes sense. But shout out to Bled, man, and King. I'm happy for you, bro. I really am, man. Happy for you. Get off the schneid, man. And Bled, aka I think Cash would call him an abuser of the GOAT term. Apparently.
Don't say GOAT, man. Don't say GOAT.
Oh man, that shit is hilarious. That shit.
You know who's not a GOAT, though?
Who's not a GOAT, though?
Whoever this guy Williams on the Lakers.
But I'll tell you who still is the GOAT, though. Mr. JaVale McGee doing his thing.
Yes.
He is still the GOAT. Yes, he is. Shout out to Cash. Cash called him the GOAT. He had no choice. Had to call him the GOAT.
Cam just texted me and said, so's Yuli Chastain.
Yes, Cam. Standing up for his Chastain GOAT takes. Yes. Rep your Brew crew. Yeah, a lot of our guys are Brewer fans, right? In the chat. Yeah.
There's a couple in there.
Yeah. And we got Cash from Patio Joe squaring off head to head, man.
Yeah, yep. Cash is in the lead. We'll see. Tomorrow's the pivotal game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's been a fun World Series. It was a fun. I got nothing but good things to say about baseball, man. It was a very profitable season for us, and like, football's been good to us, and now basketball, man, it's just off to a phenomenal start, man. The Twitter's going crazy every time with people winning. The Slack's going nuts. People winning. It's just on a nightly thing. And
but did you see what happened in hockey?
What happened in hockey?
Some the nation, bro. You
What
didn't see
today?
$4 into 5K. He won
What?
like
Yo,
the donkey. He won the hockey
yo.
donkey in FanDuel, one of our
He
slates.
won the hockey donkey.
$4 into 5K,
That
bro.
sounds like some.
Single entry. One bullet he put in. Dude,
What?
that's our third like takedown or 5,000 or more win.
Oh yeah.
Another guy won like 10
Oh
last
yeah.
week, and
And then
then the
the Hoff
Hop,
himself.
like
Yeah.
on day two, took down 10 himself on,
Oh,
like
without a
I
doubt.
think it was $16 in entries. Like,
Brew and
you
Hoff
know,
are smashing it right
I'm
now, man.
I'm real tempted to just play a couple hockey lines every night. I just like it's like right at the same time as
Yeah.
basketball. It's so hard to like
Yeah.
jump over there, but
Yeah.
I might have to.
Man, shout out to those guys. Those of you that don't know, we got down to some hockey, and all we provide you with articles and Slack chat support if you have a monthly membership or higher season pass or something. And those guys are crushing it, man. Brew Medic, the Hoff, the dynamic
Goats.
duo, true goats.
Goats.
Even Cash has
Goats.
to admit that they are the goats. Even Cash must admit that they are the goats. But they've been smashing, man. Like they've been doing a phenomenal job, and like hats off to them, man. Because like they came on the news their first time with this, like they came highly recommended from Cash and BK, and so like we had the confidence in them. But like man, they've been impressive. Like hockey is, they make it seem easy. They really they make the whole thing seem so easy. Shout out to those guys, man.
Yep.
And they shit is just hot in every avenue, man. Wiggy, man.
Really
I thought he
is.
crushed that Khabib fight. Then that was really big, man. For a guy like Wig, MMA still on the up and coming for fantasy, and like he did really well, man. He fucking nailed that shit. Everybody, man, it's just a phenomenal place. It's a magical place.
It's just a good time. It's like this is a job, but like I'm like really pumped to talk about this slate tomorrow, and then wake up tomorrow and like do the whole thing because like. When you're winning, it's just
oh man, it's the best. It's the best. It's the excitement you get and everything, man. It's just good. I mean, you stay aware and it's just dope. It's dope AF AFington. I see you, MG. See you in the YouTube chat. Smashington, the hockey on fire. Smashington, MG special.
Smashington.
All right, man. All right, I'm warmed up now. I'm ready to talk some basketball. You ready to talk some basketball? I had to warm up a little bit. You know what I mean? I had to warm up a little bit, get the vocals. For a minute, I honestly forgot what kind of show we were doing. That was because we had talked about doing other shows before, like different style shows, and like for a minute, I was like, wait a minute, are we doing one of those?
Where am I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's late, man. It's 2:04 on the East Coast. It's what we do. We're owls. We don't sleep.
Yep.
Anyway. Point guards, Paulie. We're not gonna break it up into tiers. Me and Cash stopped doing that. Cash he just talks about the players anyway. But just first look. It's our first look. Any point guards that particularly stand out for good reason, for bad reason? What do you see?
Kemba Walker at home against the Chicago Bulls. That stands out. I wonder what the spread is of that game. But I can't imagine it's too wide. These guys just played each other, right?
Oh, yeah.
You
talking about Kemba? Yeah.
Yeah, against the Bulls, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they
it
just
was in
play?
Chicago.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, it was in Chicago. And, I liked Kemba then. I think he did just about fine. I like him a lot more at home, and I think he's a tad cheaper. So that's cool. The volume is there. I think you just kind of keep going back to that until they raise it, as long as he's in a good spot. Elf against Brooklyn, New Orleans Pelicans. That sounds kind of attractive. He just continues to contribute across all the stat lines in a fast-paced team going up against another fairly fast-paced team in the Nets that is prone to turnovers and young, so I can get behind that. I don't really see a ton that I love at this position.
Let me ask you about a couple, okay? I'm gonna ask you about a couple guys. I like Elf. I like Elf on the first look too, right, as far as like that range and pricing. But the guys up top, Kemba was the first one to sit out to me also at 8-2. So he's playing Chicago. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that we liked him against Chicago. Number one, his usage, which we didn't really get that game, but also because he smashed Chicago before in the past. And so we know there's a stigma about Kemba playing better at home. This time, he is at home. We would hope that the usage is what we saw the first 4 or 5 games and not what we saw the last game. And he's only 8'2". So yes, I'm with you. My only concern, like, I like that, but I would probably save that for tournaments, mainly because it is a 9.5 point spread, and like, just something to keep in mind. The Bulls are not a very good team, but there's.
Oh, I see something that's appealing.
You see something that's appealing. Is it up top?
It's like not the tippy top, but right beneath.
Oh, you're talking about Curry at the Garden?
No.
Okay.
I see Curry as the tippy top. Is there someone above Curry?
Harden, technically. But he's not playing, though. He's not playing, though.
So
he's out for
Chris
2 weeks,
Paul,
is that the guy you're referring to? Yes.
Yeah, because Harden's not playing.
No Harden.
Yeah.
He's back from
against
his suspension.
His former team.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
big usage bump.
Yes. And then even the guy under Paul, John Wall. Sacramento is one of the fastest teams in the league right now. Washington is one of the fastest teams. This game is going to be fast. And I looked at the Vegas spread, Paulie. I expected to see Washington as like big road favorites. It's like 4.5. So maybe they're expecting a little bit of a closer game than like I would initially give credit for, because I think the Kings are so bad. But I mean, they have like the highest total on the slate that game. And like John Wall, we know he's not a big shooter, so we want him to get to the hole. They're not really a good rim protector in Sacramento, right? You got Carly Stein down there, but not really exactly a real rim protector as long as Kufus is still out. Like it's kind of tough. Like Chris Paul is the first guy you look at because Harden's gone, so that's like boom, number 1. Yeah. And then from there in tournaments, you immediately have like 2 other pivots that look awesome: Kemba Walker and John Wall.
I like the John Wall idea too a lot.
John Wall. But like, if you were gonna do a cash game, would you just stick with Paul because the usage, right? Like, you kind of have to. You gotta stick with the usage.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And the Clippers, like, I don't know what they've been playing according to pace. I think that those are gonna vary. Like, they're so tight, and like one game that like blows out, and the second unit comes in, and like, you got what's his name, Marjanovic. Another GOAT. What's his name? Marjanovic. Like, and he plays a bunch like that slows them down. So like, I'm trying to use like what I see, and I know the Clippers can get fast. So I think that game will be fast. And Chris Paul honestly looked real good to me to start the season off before the suspension. So
basketball, not so much on the fighting end, but basketball, yes.
Right, but basketball, yeah. So I think that's like the cash insert,
Yeah, no, I would agree. Because immediately when I looked at it, it's the same thing. Kemba Walker, yes, that's appealing. And like, you're so GPP minded that like the guys you like the most, in my opinion, are going to have less ownership than like the guy. Yeah. I think most people would have looked at this and immediately said Chris Paul. Yeah, and I like how your mind goes to like, you know what I'm saying? Like just, that's why Paulie D sweating GPPs. That's that's where that comes from. But
so Steph Curry up top against the Knicks, I like normally would like that. I hate playing Steph off of like a special game though, and I think that Durant's gonna be auditioning.
I hope so. There could be a little Knicks homerism in us because I agree with you. But hey, KD, I'm just saying. It's the Garden. No place like it. But yeah, man, I think there's a lot of interesting point guards for tournaments tomorrow, so it's gonna be a fun one. Let's move it over to shooting guards. Just gotta talk about what we see. Anybody stand out? There's Jimmy Butler playing at home against Milwaukee. Levine's been doing his thing, man. I think he got there again, didn't he? He's been yeah. He's doing his thing. He's playing Charlotte again. This time he's on the road, but Bradley Beal is almost just as interesting to me as John Wall, maybe even a little more so. He's in the same situation as John Wall, and like there's a lot of options so far already. It's only a 7-game slate, which is awesome, but it's like a loaded 7-game slate so far. I mean, I'm just saying, we looked at point guard, shooting guard, and I'm already like, okay, there's a lot of ways I could go. And cash games, do you stick with Levine?
I mean, he's more expensive. And I think of him as a shooting guard, and there is somebody that's 1,000 cheaper at shooting guard. He's actually in the point guard list too, that I think is like real hard to ignore.
Who is it? Talk to us.
Drew Holiday.
Oh wow, 6'9",
6'9".
yeah, against Brooklyn.
I don't like playing him and Elf together, but if you're gonna go Chris Paul, you're probably not gonna grab Elf. Then I think you go with Drew at shooting guard
I like it.
in the old Cashville.
It's interesting because like the cash build we're referring to, it may not apply because the pricing doesn't fit like the right like you said with Levine. Like he's been a cash lock because he was relatively like affordable. Now 790 is basically 8K. It's not
Yeah,
really like gonna do it anymore. So maybe like certain cash plays right once they catch up in price, they're not as
yeah.
like you have to play this. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And like a big factor is going to be usage with Portis off the court. And if it's like astounding, then maybe we do still stay there. That's going to be a big factor. I haven't
You're
looked.
right, and like we got to see who they start. If they decide to start Jabari Parker, that's going to take away some from Levine because Jabari was out there.
Mhm.
He's gonna take some usage too. At least he did in the last game. So, a couple things to keep an eye on there for tomorrow.
Mhm.
Bobby Portis, bro. Listen, I was mad as hell at you until I found out you were hurt. Then it all made sense. But I was
Yeah.
mad as hell at Bobby Portis before I found that he got hurt. I mean, I'm not happy he's hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a dick.
Right, right.
But
There's one value play that's kind of sticking out to me. Pat Bev 4-7
revenge for him
against
too.
Houston, his former
Yeah.
team. You know, I like that.
You know who else I like down there? Well, a little higher than that, but Lou Williams, man.
Yeah,
Sweet
yeah,
Lou, bro. He put up a 20 in his last game. Last time he saw Houston, he shot 3 for 16, and he still had 24 DraftKings points. So,
yeah. And he's got it last year. If you
oh
look
yeah,
at it,
he
he
would
crushed
smash him. He
Houston.
would smash him. So, Sweet
Yeah.
Lou, man. That's another game, man. Another game. And surprisingly, that game is not one of like the higher totals on the night. You believe that?
The
You want to guess the
Rockets.
total in the Rockets game?
Um, 224.
217 and a half.
Wow. And I was going low because of the way you set up.
It's
So,
the lowest on the slate.
wow.
Crazy, right?
And all the lines are out?
Yeah, all the lines are up. All the totals are up. The highest is Washington, Sacramento. Very very close behind is the Brooklyn and New Orleans, and then Milwaukee and the Timberwolves very close behind them. After that, there's a little bit more of a drop, but
Mm.
but yeah, crazy.
Not a ton down low, though. Like Cameron Payne had the game of his
Oh
life
yeah,
shooting. He hit like 9 threes. Like, I have no interest in that
no,
at all, but I could see him drawing some steam. And then Derrick Rose, if Wiggins is going to be out, will be interesting as well. But I like paying up at this position, I think, for the most
yeah,
part.
yeah, me too. So there's just too much upside up there, too much.
Yep.
All right, let's move it over to small forwards, Paulie. What we see over here, we got Big D going up against Minnesota. We got KD auditioning in New York, but he's 10K now. Kawhi at home against Dallas. We talked about Jimmy Buckets. Mirotic, who's been doing astounding things at home against Brooklyn. The list goes on and on, man. It's a pretty another position that at least at the top, obviously is not as loaded, but still attractive. What do you see here?
Mm-hmm. Um. Well, I don't think I'm gonna go to Giannis, even though like that price I don't think is high enough for most games. But he's probably gonna draw Jimmy Butler D, and like with the inflated price, like I didn't care. Actually, that's a different person, but you know, he was 11-3 against Philly in a crazy fast-paced game, but now like 11-7. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he made value, but I don't think he gets that type of ceiling against Jimmy Bucket. So I love Antetokounmpo, but I don't think I do that. Like, I will have one Kevin Durant with like Knicks stack. Like, the only way that this works is if the Knicks can hang, and I think everybody gets up for the Warriors a little more, especially when they're at home, and these Warriors just had to travel across country. So, like, I will definitely have a Durant plus probably two Knicks. But the first guy that sticks out, I think, is going to be Kawhi Leonard. I think it's just a matter of time before he's over 10K, and Dallas is playing really fast, and they don't really defend very well. And Kawhi's usage is through the roof. He's really not like shooting out of his mind, so it's not like he's got like a lot of regression coming. Milwaukee, not a good rebounding team, so I think he gets closer to his ceilings with rebounds, which, like, you saw tonight, Russ had like a horrible game shooting, but he still got to like 42 points because he gets a ton of rebounds. So when a guard slash small forward can get a lot of rebounds on top of their scoring, I can definitely get behind that. Uh, if I'm not playing Giannis, I do still like that game. I think I'll look at Middleton at 7K. And Tim Hardaway Jr. at 6,500 is extremely interesting. Um,
Yo, I got a guy that
you got a
you're not
guy?
going to want to hear this. I can already tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Full disclosure. Carmelo Anthony is 4-9 against the Clippers with no
Yeah.
James Harden. In that last game
Uh-huh.
against Utah, he took 17 shots. He did shoot really well, so we don't want to overreact, but he took 8 threes, put up a 39 on DraftKings, got 7 rebounds along with it. Do you think, I mean, just from a usage standpoint, he's got to be a guy they rely on to take shots. James Harden, that's a lot of damn shots that you have to replace. And I know Gordon's going to take some, Paul's going to take some. Who's the next in line? Sure, you got your Gerald Greens, you have your other, pieces. But Melo is here for his scoring. He's certainly not here for his defense. What do you think?
And I actually think like Melo has more upside in games with Paul than games with Harden.
Right. Yes. No, I would agree with that. Yes. They got more of a rapport, right? Like they're actually friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whereas Melo's brand new to the team.
Chris Paul is like a pass first guy almost, where Harden is not.
Right.
Right. I like the shots. Like he had never taken more than 10, and now he went to 17. He hit some threes, 7 rebounds, and that's like the extent of what he does. The price is probably still too low. I can get behind it. I think Marquez Chris is going to play this game, so it's like another body coming back to Houston, though. Maybe is what I'll say. He's broken my heart once. I sent you, and like, and like that was real though. It's like, do you really want to be sitting there with a smash team and one guy left to go, and it's Carmelo that you need to get you 35? Like, so maybe in game stacks, yes, but as a solo, I don't think I want to do that to myself or want to recommend to our members that are counting on us not to break their hearts. And that's just like, you can just not want to play DFS for a few days after Carmelo destroys you.
Oh no, yeah.
But when like at the end of the day he needed like 13 and you win $100,000 and you got like a 6.
Well,
we kind of like skipped over shooting guard though. Was that like on purpose?
Did we skip over shooting guard?
Yeah. We like, I know how like point guard blends with it, but there was a couple guys that,
Well, who else? Who'd you like?
I mean, Damian Dotson, he's now 4-2, but in the builds without those guys in a close game, I think like, usually the Warriors beat the Knicks by 30, 40 points. So he's been really impressive. He might be part of like their normal rotation now. And I like what I see out of this kid. So he's somebody I have interest in. Josh Okogie, he's 4-1, a little bit more, but like you told me if he could hit a shot, he would have had 40, and he got to 28.3.
Yeah, 4 for 14, the bastard. 28%. Come on, killed me. He did good, but he could have really did good at 3-4.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be dependent on Andrew Wiggins, but also Klay Thompson, guards against the Knicks. Like, people like shooting in the Garden. Maybe he gets off, and he's only 5'8". It's a nice way to get like cheap exposure to that game. That's it.
Kelly Oubre. If what's his name is ruled out again?
Mahimi.
I know it's weird that a big is reliant on Oubre's minutes, or Oubre is reliant on a big not playing. You know what I'm saying? But they've been going small because Jason Smith sucks without a big, and so if they do that here against the Kings, Oubre is going to play, and this game is going to be very fast paced.
Yeah, Kelly Oubre a lot.
Kelly Oubs.
Definitely.
That was my makeup call for like I already had that in my back pocket for when I had to deliver you the Mellow news. Because I could already tell you was gonna get, I'm gonna bring up things, and I was like, I gotta have like, it's like I had to give you the shot real quick, but then it's all good. I got a lollipop, like you know what I'm saying. I had it ready. I had it ready.
So if you're gonna play Chris Paul and Carmelo, and maybe maybe another Rocket or two, but like I think you have to play Tobias Harris or Danilo, one of those two,
Yes.
right? If you're playing Paul and Melo,
Yes.
which one do you like better?
I normally, it's easy like price wise. Obviously, Gallo is the easier choice because there's less of an expectation. But Tobias Harris just has such, in my opinion, like on a regular basis, he's more likely to show more upside. Like I know Gallo does have a ceiling. It's very very rare that we see it, and it's rare that we get it from Tobias, but not as rare. You know what I mean? He's a little more involved, I feel like. So I lean towards Tobias in tournaments if I'm going for a game stack because I really want like the best players to really go nuts. And
I mean, I think 7-3 is like a decent price for Tobias.
I agree.
Actually.
I agree. He hasn't been that cheap in 3 games.
He's got 46, 50, like he's capable of that.
Yeah.
And at 7-3, like you're happy with that.
Agreed. Let's move it over to power forwards, Paulie. We talked about Mirotic a bit. We just talked about Harris, who's also on DraftKings at least power forward eligible. We got Draymond that's still down there at 6'6". We know Bobby Portis is out, going to be out for a little bit while. Looks like Julius Randle has a Q tag. We're still waiting to see if Harrison Barnes is still out. There's a lot of question marks we got here, but this looks like maybe a position that maybe you want to try to find the value at. What you thinking?
I mean, AD against the Nets is like a really appetizing play if you can get there first.
Yeah.
Like, the Nets are real bad against centers. So
yeah, I was like, for some reason, I was like thinking of him in the centers.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. So if Randall's out, then Mirotic becomes kind of like a lock and load to me. If Randall is in, and it says he's probable, I may actually take a stab at Randall over Mirotic because the same reason I like AD. And Randall plays more like a big, and Mirotic plays more like a stretch 4. I don't have an opinion yet, but what do you think about Jabari Parker at 5'5"?
I think that he makes a lot of sense. If he starts, he makes sense in cash. Like, he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did pretty well. I think that ownership-wise...
Who would start over him?
If they try to do the Felicio thing. Remember what they used to do? They would put that little bastard at center for no reason. He would only play like 15 minutes a game, but it would be at the most inconvenient times when like whoever you had, that's the guy he was playing for. If you had Wesley Matthews, all of a sudden this fucker's in there and like he's just eating away at like 5 of your Wesley Matthews minutes. It's like you always did it to somebody. But I would think that that Portis would start. I mean, Jabari Parker would start for Portis.
Yeah. And in that case, I think he's a cash game play for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know yet about tournaments. I got to look into that usage. But Marvin Bagley has just really impressed me. His price is a tad higher, but probably not high enough. If you're playing John Walls and Brad Beals and guys like that, then he's a guy I definitely like on Sacramento to bring back. Even Bielitsa, if you don't want to play Bagley because you think he's more of a second unit guy. Bielitsa's been starting. He's a stretch 4. Markieff struggles with those guys, so I can certainly support that. Who else? And I got a feeling you have your eye on somebody else for value.
For me?
Yeah.
Not really. Why? Who you see down there? I'm still browsing.
I don't know. No, I'm browsing too. But you let off the position with like maybe we should be paying down. So I thought.
Oh no.
You had your eye on somebody.
No. Just like in comparison to like point guard and shooting guard, it just seemed like there was less because like I did skip over Anthony Davis, but like in my head we talked about Giannis. For some reason, I was like, Anthony Davis, I'll say for center. And then he was left with just like Durant, then down to Mirotic, and then a pretty big gap. So Just seemed like a good time. Right now, it seems like a good time to just plug in Anthony Davis and move on to the next position. That's what it seems like right now. That's what like the, that looks like the attractive move. Right?
Yep, I'm with that.
So let's do that for now, and let's roll over to centers, which is usually another loaded position. I guess we'll find out in a second. What do you see here?
In that Durant Knicks thing, I will definitely go back to Canner at 6'9", coming off a little dud. If the Knicks hang, it's definitely on the strength of him balling out. Man, they just dropped DeAndre Jordan's price $800 for no reason. I'd take a look at how Toronto's been doing against centers, but regardless, like Jonas isn't really that good if he gets the start, and if he doesn't get the start, then DeAndre should really eat. Clint Capella against the Clippers at 6'7", like we're not going to see that price much longer. He's played over 30 minutes his last 3 games, and again, like I like Chris Paul pairings, and James Harden I usually run on his own, but Chris Paul, he could end up with more assists than shots and still have a monster game, so I'm looking to pair Paul with guys in Capella against the Clippers, who have Gortat, and then Montrezl Harrell, who's like a smaller version of Capella. So that is interesting. Jared Allen against New Orleans at 5'7". If you're playing AD and all those guys, you're going to want the Nets to keep it close. And Jared Allen, centers usually do really well against New Orleans. This guy's starting to grow on me, so that is interesting. Is 8K against Milwaukee low enough to finally take a shot on Karl Anthony Towns?
That is a good question, man. I don't know if I want to do it. I really don't. I guess it depends on if I see other centers that I prefer. And right now, there's a couple guys that I think are interesting. It's Milwaukee. It's a nut matchup. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, this year, like, I got to admit, Cash is right, man. He's really been a P. He really has been a P. Like, he's just like,
all right. But put that aside for a second. I hate Karl Anthony Towns.
I'm talking about what he's done so far this year.
I know. But, like, if you want to talk about what he's done, let's talk about what he's done his whole career, and that's multiple games over 60 points. Mm-hmm. And if this is, like, one of the best possible spots for it, and potentially Wiggins is out, like, how do we not take a shot? And I'm not even really convinced that I like it, but I think it's important to address, and it's something we're going to obviously dig into.
Yes.
Right?
No, yeah. We definitely have to dig into that. My initial instinct, he's way underpriced, especially considering Wiggins is out. But it's still Karl Anthony Towns. So, yeah, he's a guy we're going to have to look into. That's all it is. We're going to have to dig in tomorrow. I want to see how he's done against Milwaukee in the past. And I want to actually look at the true usage of the team with Wiggins gone. Yeah. And we've had a full sample of the game. And Butler, I think Wiggins missed, a game and a half, basically? Right? He played like 8 minutes one game. And I feel like what we saw was a little bit different like in the 2 games. I don't remember exactly, but got to clear that up. But I'll acknowledge that on DraftKings, especially a site where you get like bonuses for double-doubles, things like that, like 8K definitely seems too low for Towns against Milwaukee without one of their players.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, all ears for you to talk me into somebody. Wendell Carter. We were talking about him off the air about, why, like, is he a decent option last game? And, he did get there, but Portis missed. Like, that contributed to it. But now, like, there's no, like, hobbled Portis coming in and grabbing minutes. Like, it's him, it's Rolo, and Parker, and I guess Feliciano. Like, do we want to take a shot at this guy for cheap against the Hornets, who struggle against bigs?
Yeah, man, definitely in play. There's going to be some minutes to go around. How cheap is he? Do you see him?
43.
That's 43. Pretty low. That is pretty low. Is he power forward eligible by any chance?
No.
Okay. Dicks.
That hurt.
There's like a couple question mark guys that are pretty cheap. Like we talked about Towns. Like even Brook Lopez on the other side of that is kind of interesting at 4.8. He played 31 and 32 minutes his last two games, 29 and 30 DraftKings points. And we know that as good as Towns is offensively, he's really not good defensively. So that's another matchup you have to check.
Do you have Brolo's like log in front of you?
Yes.
How did he do from three that game?
Against Philly, he shot 5 for 11 from three.
And
Against New York, 2 for 5.
The Bucks want to shoot more threes. If he's taking 11 of them, like that's very interesting at a cheap price, especially if you're playing other guys from that game.
Yeah, 11 threes. He took 13 shots, and 11 of them are threes.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet.
Yeah, so they're playing like a 5 corners offense, right? Like everyone lines out outside the perimeter, right? And like it's a drive kick offense, right? So like Giannis is going to get tons and tons of assists this year, right? Because he's their best creator, him and Bledsoe. And then it's Middleton, Rolo, that are basically just spot up guys. And Middleton, it may detract from him because he's not going to do much more. He's just, creating space and hitting shots. So the rebounds are kind of going to come down. The assists may come down a little bit. And then what's his name? Malcolm Brogdon is probably like the hybrid guy who I don't think I'd want shooting a ton. I'd want him creating more.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense, man. For sure. I'm with it. There's a couple guys, though. Another, like, in a game stack scenario, Willie Cauley-Stein's kind of interesting, too. Right? Like, if Mahimi is out. If Mahimi is out, they don't really have a rim protector down there. He's another guy that's fairly cheap that could do some damage. Jared Allen is also the one. I know you talked about him already, but I thought that was a really good point. So, again, AD, he gets a couple blocks, doesn't mean he's a good defender. We see bigs go down there and do their thing all the time. So there's a few different guys, but as far as like the guys up top, it's still tempting. It doesn't mean that Karl-Anthony Towns at 8K is not tempting because he's the only one of those guys that has like 60-point upside. So that's what it comes down to. Interesting slate, my friend. Interesting slate.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I think we're getting closer. We might not be there yet, but like it's getting close to like, late breaking news start happening, and that can really make slates really interesting.
Oh yeah.
This is a good size, and we have like a couple games like that can draw ownership. It's not like the 1-240 game and everything else is down here. Like there's a bunch of like games to like choose from.
Yes, absolutely. This is going to be a good one. This will be fun. With that said, guys, don't forget to check us out at whitestate.com for more fire NBA content. Paulie D have his cheat sheets out tomorrow. We got Cash and DFS on the Y stream to explain to you all why you shouldn't be calling nobody the GOAT, and it's ridiculous. All that good shit. Other than that, Y streams, it's going to be another regular day, full day of content. We'll have the expert poll out. We'll have BK's Cash Game article. Thunder Dan on the tournament article to cover for Cash while Cash does the Y stream tomorrow. And then Thunder Dan's going to take us to the weekend with his tournament article. It's hot, man. NHL's going on. The only day we don't do NHL content is Sundays because the slate's usually too small. It's the only day those guys have off. So, hey, man, if you're feeling froggy, you got a little bit of money, you up, give those hockey guys a try, man. They're worth an investment. They've been making dudes money. They've made money. They've been making dudes money. They've been killing it.
That's the cheapest day pass in the industry.
99 cents. 99 cents. Yeah, but obviously, like, try the day pass. Like, if you like it, just go ahead and get either the All Sports Monthly or buy the hockey season pass.
So you can get in the Slack.
You got to get in the Slack. Yeah, that's really where they do. Like, they get hands on with our members in there. They've been awesome. So, other than that, guys, listen. NBA, if you haven't tried us already, you're missing out. $2.50 get you a day pass. Same thing. You can try it out. All the NBA content you get for a day. You don't get no Slack chat, but try the content out. You'll be happy with the content, and then once you're that, then we feel comfortable asking you to sign up for the monthly and just make the commitment and join the squad. Who they who?
Yeah.
Who they who? Paulie, it's time for some top threes. We do top threes after the plug, bro. I get the plug in, then the top threes, then I do the take home at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I get the plug in.
Yeah, you didn't forget.
I didn't forget.
You didn't forget.
I get the plug in. Top 3 point guards, Paulie. What you got?
At this point, I'm looking to pay up, and I got my eye on Kemba, Chris Paul, and John Wall. I think I will certainly have one of those 3 on my main team tomorrow.
Yes. As of right now, like, I would rank them myself as like Chris Paul more like the guy I would lean towards in cash, even though I don't necessarily know if that has to be the case because he's 9'2", so I don't know if he's necessarily priced or like we must. But for now, I think he is because he is good and no Harden, and he hasn't played in 2 days. Like you know what I'm saying? The man ain't played in 2 days, like 2 games out. He's missed. He's rested. So yeah, Chris Paul probably number one. John Wall, Kemba Walker would be the same for me. They're all in really good spots. It's gonna be a fun tournament day. It's one of those days where you gotta like nail your core and then rotate these motherfuckers in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I said it so aggressively. That was it just kind of came out. I don't know. Shooting guards, Paulie, what you got there?
You've changed.
I have. I know. It's fucking doing this shit. Like, see now, look. So many shows every night, late night. You know?
Hanging out with Cass.
Hanging out with Cass too. He's a bad influence, bro. You know.
We had like a touching moment, like as touching that me and Cash can have. I was like, man, like his kid, you know, how his kids like they talk like him, and I'm like, you let him talk like that to you? I was like, man, you're a bad influence. He's like, yeah, man. The other day, like I asked Maria, I was like, you curse more because you with me, and she was like, fuck yeah. I was like, don't worry, Cash, man. You're a good influence in so many other things. It's all good. It balances out.
Yeah, you definitely just lied to him.
but I liked her answer though.
Yes.
I liked her answer though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So at shooting guard, I'm gonna jump on the Drew Holiday at 6'9" train, and you know. Where is the dude on the Nets? Is he forward only now?
Ooh, Crabbe?
No. The best player in the Nets. Caris LeVert, yeah, he's small forward only. Okay, good. Excellent. I'm still like torn between like him and D'Angelo Russ, like which guy is gonna be the man, but it seems like it's gonna be LeVert. So Kawhi Leonard I like. Don't know if I'll be able to afford him in like core lineups. And Demi and Dotson all the way down there. I think he's a player on the rise that's just gonna like eventually be starting.
Yeah, if he's gonna keep playing 30 minutes, he's still too cheap. I can tell you that because he's taking shots, he's getting rebounds, he's getting involved.
Yeah, and like this game particularly has blowout risk. I don't know what the spread is, but the Warriors usually toast the Knicks.
Yeah.
Like, it's in New York. The Warriors haven't looked phenomenal just yet. Like maybe we hang in there, but Dotson's gonna be kind of game flow proof anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Especially with Knox out.
Yeah. I like Bradley Beal for tournaments. Levine, as of right now, I still have my eyes on towards cash. I think you can consider Eric Gordon, though I think he's a little expensive. But Gordon should see a lot of backup point guard minutes here when he's subbing. He'll play with Paul, and he'll play a lot without Paul so that he can run the point. After that, like Lou Williams, GPP play, but Sweet Lou. I got a little place in my heart for Sweet Lou, man. He's done good for us in the past, so. Yeah.
He's a goat.
He is a goat. He's a goat. Yeah, Cash, he's a goat. We done said it. Said it. What position? Small forwards. Small forwards.
Small forwards.
What you see there?
Give me Caris LeVert because I will be talking about another Pelican soon. I'm gonna want to run it back. Give me Kelly Oubre.
Yes.
And I don't really care if Mahimi plays or not. And give me Tobias Harris.
All right. I like the Oubre call. I'm gonna go with Carmelo Anthony, and I'm gonna go with Mirotic here.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I probably should save him for power forward. I feel as though it's too late because I've already said his name. Power forwards. What's your name?
AD all day.
Oh,
I love that they've entered DeMarcus Cousins into the player pool at 5'9". Like, he's coming, and he actually like practiced for the first time, and he's actually on a earlier time track than initially expected. Like, we might get him before Christmas.
I hope Boogie doesn't go there and is like a bitch, like on the team. Like I want to see Boogie book out. You know what I mean? Like I hope he's not there and he's like the fifth option. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know how that's gonna work.
That's what I'm saying. Boogie, like I want to see Boogie smash though. Like it's got so many other options.
They'll probably take turns. They'll probably take.
That
turns.
would suck. That would really suck. Because I've been playing the guessing game.
I will be playing him his first game for sure though, because like Steve Kerr is like a guy who like likes to give his players moments. Like last year, no one even knew who Jordan Bell was, and he like randomly started because it was his first game back to Chicago, and he got like 40 DK.
I remember that.
Like,
yeah, that was another good game.
Like Kevin Durant's first game at OKC, like they basically just let him take every shot that game. Like, he does things for his guys, and like DeMarcus Cousins' first game on the Pelicans, he went bananas, and I'm playing. He's going to be underpriced. Whatever his first game is, I'm going to load up on him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that'll be a good day, I promise. Because no one's going to be like, we got to play Boogie. Everyone's going to be like, oh, it's the Warriors, too many options. Well, I want to wait and see. I love the wait and see option in DFS. Like, I don't want to wait and see. I want to be in front of shit. Yeah. And then I'm going to take a value guy. Give me Marvin Bagley. Not totally value, but Marvin Bagley's been really impressive. He's probably going to work his way into that starting lineup, or even if he doesn't start, he's going to play, starter minutes.
Oh, yeah. No, I could see it. I'll go with AD up top. I'll go with Jabari Parker. Did I go with Jabari Parker a small forward before?
No,
all right, cool. And then I'm going to go with Montrezl Harrell at 4-6. Yeah. Centers, Paulie Dizzle.
DeAndre Jordan, Enes Kanter, and Jared Allen.
Ooh, so you made the decision on Towns, I see.
I have to look into it, but I don't want to play Towns.
No, I know.
I don't want to, and I'm not willing to really put him on a top 3 before I dive in. Because some people, they're not even members; they're just watching the show and using that. And I just like I'm not going to risk our reputation on Karl Anthony Towns until I see there's enough supporting evidence that says. And we still like Wiggins is questionable, so like if Wiggins plays, I'm pretty much off that play.
For sure. I like if Mahimi's out. I do like Willie Cauley-Stein in tournaments for lower ownership. I like that game in general, though. I do like Jared Allen. And I'm gonna go with some Brolo because I do think one of them centers is gonna do the damn dirty. You know what I mean? Yep. One of them centers is gonna do the damn dirty. If it's not Cat, it's gonna be him. Maybe they both do it. Maybe they do a dirty dance together. You know what I mean?
Dirty dance.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's like Dunkin' Donuts, double D's. Dirty dancing. Chill. That is gonna do it for the White State DFS podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that thumbs up, that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. The likes have been up. I've been happy. I've been a happy man. Keep us happy and keep hitting those like buttons, man. It needs to be like we need to have like in the hundreds, like
every day.
Yeah, man. That's the minimum we should have. In the hundreds is the minimum amount of likes we should have. There's like almost 100 of y'all watching right now. So I don't understand why when we do this end stream, it's not immediately at 100. It takes like a full day. It shouldn't be the case, guys. Do your part. Do your part, man.
Yeah, it's really easy. But you know what? Real quick before we get out of here, we've been running the Wise Take Daily tournament, and each day's winner is gonna get a free coaching session for the NBA. At the end of the week, we're gonna do like a little class. And Moose 56, he's been around for a minute. He won today. Wig 3 won yesterday. Swish Bank Swish Maniac won the day before that. Okay. And I think I'm leaving someone out, but I don't remember who it was. But
whoever you are, you were just singled out.
Yeah. You're a goat, though. But shout out to Lou for running that. It's a really nice thing, that he's giving our members a chance. And, it's NBA is like a different beast. You can't just like apply baseball, DFS knowledge and like use it here. It's just totally different. So it's cool that, he's using the discretionary funds we gave him to run a free coaching session contest. So shout out to Sweet Lou.
Sweet Lou, baby. Keep it up, man.
Lou Diamond Phillips.
LDP. Too sweet. You know what I mean? That's like an NWO name, LDP. It sounds like it's an NWO Wolfpack. Too sweet. Oh, man, shout out to all the guys. Happy birthday, Wiggy McWiggleson. Almost forgot that. His birthday was technically yesterday, but happy birthday, bro. We love you,
It's actually still
in West Coast time
today in the West Coast. So yeah,
we got like another 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
But we're in there.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Wig. We love you, bro. Everybody, man. The whole team, man. We have a great team, man. We really do.
Yeah.
We got a great squad. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a like and a share to support the nation. If you're watching us on Twitch or Twitter, give us a follow, give us a retweet. And if you're listening to us on Podbean or iTunes, give us some 5-star reviews. All these things really help us out. Go a long way. Allow us to continue to do shows for you on the free and on the regular. Paulie, anything in closing before we get up out of here?
I do agree with Cash that you shouldn't overuse the term goats, but when a guy's a goat, you got to call him the goat, and goats are goats.
Goaty McGoats. Goaty McGoatlesons. Goatington. That's what it is. Goatington. For Paulie D.
Goatington.
For myself, the entire Wise Take Nation. As always, good luck.
Yeah.